The IIM Bangalore results are out. The final shortlists for IIM Bangalore are out, and congratulations to you if you've made it to IIM Bangalore. It's a huge feat. Whatever hard work you've done over the last few months or years, that has finally given you the fruits of it, and congratulations to you. Even if you're somebody who's in the waitlist, congratulations to you too, because there could be a possibility that you would convert it. And in this video, my objective is that to talk you through, to take you through what are the waitlist trends at IIM Bangalore. I'll also be talking a little bit about the recent placements, what is the sector wise analysis and all of this, but the main aim is to tell you waitlist movement कितना है क्या है. If you don't know me, I'm Darpan Saxena, an MBA graduate from IIM Udaipur. I have been the MBA Product Head at Career Launcher. I'm the founder of Creatum, where I help MBA students create fulfilling careers without depending on placements. Moving on to this now. First of all, let's begin by understanding the placements, the recent placements. Average of 2025, which is the latest placement report available. Average is pretty strong, 34-35 lakhs almost. Median is a similar number. If you would have seen my video on IIM Ahmedabad when that result was announced, it's a equally comparable number. वहां पे भी 34 lakhs upwards ही था. There have been 600 students. This includes, by the way, now here is the point. This includes IIM Bangalore PGP and PGP BA because the placement report is combined. Also, I'll be giving you waitlist movements for both. Hello, I understand some of you might be having PGP BA, PGP जो भी है, मैं दोनों का इसी वीडियो में बता देने वाला हूं अभी, ताकि so that it's of help to you. Offers made 660 offers, 177 companies. The PPOs, the pre-placement offers from the internships were 263, out of which 208 people accepted their pre-placement offers. The remaining, they decided to sit for the placements, the final placements. Lateral offers made were 100, out of which 89 were selected. Overseas offers out of India. So some of you have been asking me that which campus or which job roles to take up if we want to settle abroad. अब वो भी एक wave शुरू हो गई है. So that's the point. There have been 22 offers, which is a good number, a significant number for that. And obviously इसके ऊपर मैं एक वीडियो बना सकता हूँ that it's not just about whether you get placed abroad from the campus. Probably your first switch could be abroad, which is made very easy by some of these brilliant campuses, MBAs from these brilliant campuses like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore. Moving on to the next slide, sector-wise breakup. This is a very important comprehensive analysis. So what you're seeing here in the graph is the absolute number of offers in the last placement report, which is of 2025. So for example, 270 offers were in consulting. Consulting is the largest sector by volume of offers made. So consulting, so see again, there's a reason why IIM Bangalore is usually referred to as the consulting campus across A, B, C. A also has equally good number of consulting offers, and so does Calcutta. But then you can see that yes, there is a very significantly large share of consulting offers, not so much of finance offers. Although 86 as an absolute number for finance is also pretty strong. But now I like to draw your attention over here. Consulting over the years has been very stable, almost half the batch, 40%, almost half of the batch, which is around 300 students are getting placed in consulting, very good top tier firms. If I draw your attention to finance and banking now, of late and traditionally, even before 2022, जिसका मेरे पास यहाँ पे अभी है, there have been usually single digit percentage of finance and banking offers. However, in the recent 2 years, this has moved to a significant double digit numbers. This was the same at IIM Ahmedabad also, and I've been speaking to you about this, that some of these campuses, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, even Lucknow and Kozhikode, are really taking their finance placements very seriously because udhar ek dominance hai of IIM Calcutta. And it's not just about that they want to compete with IIM Calcutta, it's just about that most students now, most bright students aspire for finance roles. So they want those good companies to come to their campus, and these placecoms have been working really hard to get finance roles on their campus, which you can see in these trends. Apart from that, there is a significant stronghold of e-commerce, D2C brands and all of these over here. Then you have other numbers, but the point which you need to drive home, which again establishes what we usually know about IIM Bangalore, it's a consulting campus. And also if you're somebody who's into tech product management, it's a campus for you. That is good over here, which you can see. Moving on to that, top recruiters. Now here is a slide which is even more interesting because this reinforces a few more things again. If you see most of these names, except for maybe American Express, except for just that, all of these are basically for consulting roles. These are predominantly for consulting roles. Maybe a few roles in PwC in India would have been finance roles. I think not though. From what I know, these are all consulting roles except for American Express. So you know that the most number of offers in the final placements are also in consulting. This, by the way, is not something unique to IIM Bangalore. Even at IIM Ahmedabad, you'll see that the most offers were in consulting. IIM Calcutta slightly different. Somewhere in this list, you would see that finance की भी कुछ companies अच्छी कंपनियां होती है वहां पे जो कि ले जाती है. So that is why there's a reason why you call some campuses as finance campus and whatever. Now, my dear friends, let me take you through a snapshot of the summer placements. There is a repetition of that. Most of the companies, see, Accenture strategy recruits heavily in summers, 96 offers, almost 100 offers, and we saw this in the case of IIM Ahmedabad, also in the cases of when you will be seeing about IIM Kozhikode, IIM L. Accenture strategy for consulting hires in bulk. अब यहाँ पे मैं एक बात है, before I come to the waitlist movement at IIM Bangalore, before I come to that, if you're preparing well, there's a very important part I have to say over here. If you're walking into your campus, you need to be preparing well. There's a pre-MBA program, how to be school pre-MBA program, which is one of the most widely taken pre-MBA program by serious students from the old IIMs, because it gives you a snapshot of what happens in the academics, what happens in extracurricular activities, how to prepare for placement, summer, final, whatever. Go to that link in the description. How to B School is a complete pre-MBA program which you need to make the most of your B School experience. I will not talk so much about it. I don't want to extend this video for too long, but that's the point. तो भैया ये तुम्हारे सामने scene है that even in summers most of the roles are in consulting. So yes, if you're considering consulting, this is a great place to be at. Even if you're consulting marketing, finance, you have an HUL which comes in, gives good number of offers. Even for finance, you'll be having certain offers, and because I am assuming you'll be having good academics, maybe some work experience as well, I think you'd be in good stead across whatever role you want. Now let me come to the waitlist movement, my dear friends, and here is what it is. The table number 1 which you're seeing, the table at the top, that is the table for the waitlist movement at PGP. I've arranged it in such an order that the first row is the latest one. So last year the waitlist movement in general category was 61. Prior to that it was 67, and prior to that it was 33. अब ये 33 का मैंने IIM Ahmedabad वाले वीडियो में भी मैंने कहा था. This was the batch immediately after COVID, or one batch immediately after COVID. So people were not dropping these campuses for jobs, because sure, I mean, you could be an IITian who's had, who has an offer of 18 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs right out of your UG, and probably you want to explore that tech job or some other job before you enter your MBA. And maybe most, and we've seen this because I've had my students who leave those offers for the jobs in hand which they have. But this is a trend which we saw even at IIM Ahmedabad and a few campuses, that immediately after COVID thoda waitlist movement kam ho gaya tha because people were holding on to their offers. Now it has sort of normalized is the word which I would want to use for this. So that is something which you're seeing. Broadly, I would not want to make a speculation over here, but you can see if you're somewhere within 60s, below 60, you might be having a chance at IIM Bangalore. No point speculating how much it is going to be in this year. My job is to bring out data. My job is to not to speculate and become a guruji who can predict this. Nobody can predict this. That's data in front of you. Coming on to PGP BA, this has been quite erratic. Last year, 6 was the general waitlist movement. This could be on account of the number of buffer calls which they might have given. So that is also something. So please take into account all of this thing. My objective is to bring to you data. Nobody can make accurate predictions as to where will the waitlist move. I've seen this so many times happen with the new IIMs, that say for example an IIM Udaipur, IIM Raipur, at times the number which you'd expect कि यहाँ तक waitlist move होगी, वहां तक waitlist move नहीं होती. The point is, whatever category you are in, whatever this thing you are in, you have the data in front of you. You can take a screenshot of this. My dear friend, my objective was very simple for you. My objective was that, can I tell you about what is the waitlist movement? What is the placement scenario? It is great. There is, not enough which we can talk about IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad, but the broad idea is that this is what it is. Comment down on this video. Let me know if you have an offer from IIM Bangalore. Let me know how you're trying to go about your pre-MBA journey. Congratulations to you for IIM Bangalore.